Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today we're going to get back to the basics, walking and talking. That's what we're going to do here today. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You may be asking yourself, Bob, what in the world are we watching here? Well, basically you're watching me walk. That doesn't seem like such an exciting thing, but if you realize that a little over 14 months ago I couldn't do this, I could barely stand for 2 to 2.5 minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking. And I thought today would be an excellent day to do a little bit of a longer walk since it rained really hard this morning and it's now 95 degrees outside, so it's plenty humid as well. This is typical Omaha weather in the summertime. Hot and humid. It's not quite so bad because the sun occasionally hides behind the clouds, but it is certainly steamy out here. Good day for a walk. But the whole point of this channel, the whole point of everything I'm doing here, is to get the word out about the carnivore diet. It can change your life. Look at what it's done for me. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. It means an awful lot to me that you choose to spend a little bit of your day with me. Before we get into the back to the basics discussion, I do want to get into one little quick topic here, because I had a comment yesterday on yesterday's video, which you all saw. Well, some of you probably saw, and it was my review of the new keto chow flavors. And somebody commented, wow, this just sounds like a guy trying to make $1 off of his followers. If I could make $1 off of all of my followers, please tell me how to do that. As I've said before, just like everybody that does YouTube videos, yes, we'd like to make $1. But that's not the primary purpose behind this channel. If I can reach one person a day and set them on the right path so that they don't have to go through what I went through for 40 years, that's my main motivation. But about these huge dollars I'm making as a YouTuber, someday, very soon, I'm hoping, I will actually break even on my YouTube channel, because I pay for video editing software. I pay for all the equipment that I use. Now granted, it is just a phone and a selfie stick most of the time, or I'm sitting down at home in front of my camera. But then there's the StreamYard to try and make the live streams a little better. That has a monthly cost. The Zoom calls that I do for people to ask questions, there's a monthly fee for that as well. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. I love what I'm doing. But for those of you out there thinking, wow, Semi-Retired Bob's doing real good for himself, I'm still at the point where I'm spending money out of my own pocket to bring you these videos. So forgive me if I do a couple of little things here and there to try and up my income just a little bit. Okay, I made it up to the stop sign. I'm not going to turn around and go back the other way today. I said we're going for a little bit of an extended walk. So I'm going to go on down around the corner here, past this big pine tree that I like so much that overhangs the sidewalk. It overhangs the sidewalk so much that they had to cut some of the branches out to let the sidewalk go through. This is a big old pine tree. I'll pause here and show it to you as we go underneath of it. I do like this pine tree. So back to the basics. Carnivore diet. You'll see a lot of people out there, myself included, talking about a lot of other things, because keto chow is not carnivore. It's one of those other things, and I don't recommend it for anybody if you're still in trying to get healthy mode. And yes, I am still in, I'm always trying to improve my health, but all of my issues are gone 99%. And I've been sitting around the same weight for the last basically 2.5, 3 months. I've tried a couple of fasting days. I've tried upping the fat. I've tried lowering the fat. I tried a little keto chow. I think my body has stabilized itself. I think this is just where I'm going to be. Maybe it'll surprise me at some point down the line, and I will get a little more weight loss. But I'm not concentrating on that. I am concentrating on getting my exercise in every day. I'm out here doing these walks. It's really hot out, by the way. I think I mentioned that once already. But the basics. Eat the meat and its associated fat. Add the salt. Drink the water. As I've said many times on this channel, that will get you 90% of the way to where you want to go. Once you get to within that final 10%, which is where I'm at, you may want to play around with some stuff. Maybe try a little bit of keto, maybe try stricter carnivore, maybe try a lion diet, up the fat, lower the fat, do all the things that you have to do, or think you have to do, to get that last 10% to come off. Is what I'm doing okay? I don't know. But I do know that I feel better than I've ever felt before. And I continue to look younger and younger. At least I think I do. But don't let things like the video I put out yesterday confuse you. Oh, well, now Bob's thinking keto chow is good stuff. For 90% of you, no. No, it's not. If you're not in the final 10% of your journey, then no. Eat the meat with its associated fat, add the salt, and drink the water. That will get you where you need to go. And when I say eat the meat and its associated fat, I mean a basic 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio. If you look at a steak before you cook it, it should look like about 1/8 of the meat in front of you is fat, and the other 7/8 should be the lean muscle. So if you're trying to do a little bit higher fat, you want to try and get slightly higher fat meats. If you're trying to adjust and be a little bit higher protein, then cut the fat back a little bit. But I don't recommend doing that. I think 1-to-1 fat to protein is the minimum. And some people have discovered they need to go all the way to 2-to-1 fat to protein. So, again, that's one of those things you're going to have to play around with for yourself. I can't tell you exactly how much fat you need or how much protein you need. Let's talk about macros and measuring stuff for a little bit here. I've never measured a thing, with the exception of the water that I'm adding to the keto chow. So I don't think that actually counts as measuring. I see a lot of people out there talking about, oh, well, I've been checking my ketones on the Keto Mojo. and they're this level or they're that level or whatever it is. I'm here to tell you that I've never checked a ketone level, not once. The things I have checked, because I'm coming from a place of diabetes, I do still occasionally check my blood glucose with a finger stick glucose monitor. Everything there is still fine. I check my blood pressure every morning, about a half hour after I've gotten up. You know, I don't want the initial surge of waking up and doing that kind of stuff to mess up my my blood pressure reading. So after I get up and move around and do a couple things, I sit back down at my desk and start working my way through comments on YouTube, and then I check my blood pressure every morning. I measure that because I'm coming from a place of chronic high blood pressure. I think that's about all I check. My glucose and my blood pressure. I've never counted calories because, as we all know, calorie is a unit of heat and body doesn't really do anything with that. It's the protein and the fats that we're taking in that our body uses. But I've never actually measured any of that stuff either. You know, I've eyeballed it a little bit and said, I want to try and up the fat a little bit, so I try and find fattier cuts of meat, or I add some butter to the cut of meat after it's cooked, try and get a little more fat in. Done a lot of that stuff. But as far as actually measuring or having an app on my phone that tells me how many fat grams versus how many protein grams I've had that day, I've never done any of that. And all my labs still look good. My glucose readings all look good. I haven't had any trouble. Now, if you're one of these numbers people that likes to have the feedback of jumping on the scale every day or checking your ketones or any of that kind of stuff, if it helps you to adjust things in once in a while, I don't see anything wrong with that. I try to be very non-dogmatic on this channel. Obviously, if I was preaching that you have to do, strict carnivore 100% all the time, that I wouldn't be trying keto chow. Got a little itch on the back of my hand here. I don't know if I got bit by something or it's just the sweat rolling out. But it's plenty hot and muggy out today. I think I've said that a couple of times already. But you just need to be careful not to get trapped using the tools designed to help you. You don't want to become a slave to them. You don't want to jump on the scale every day and say, oh my gosh, my weight went up by 0.6 of a pound. I must have done something wrong. And your weight can fluctuate a lot more than that. Have you done anything wrong? Probably not. Just the force that we exert on the scale through gravity fluctuates wildly, even throughout the day. I just had, because I felt like, because I had keto chow with my meal 2 days in a row to test those vanilla flavors, I felt like I wanted a really good meal today, so I had a dozen scrambled eggs, and that's what I ate for my one meal today. Just a dozen scrambled eggs scrambled in butter. It was really good. I meant to record it, but Never got to it. The little bit of footage I got was kind of off center and not really usable, so yeah, these things happen. I still need to get a good kitchen set up for recording stuff in the kitchen, because I do have some stuff coming up that I talked about several months ago. I'm going to start working on making my own pemmican, and I'm going to start working on trying to make my own beef flour, and those are all coming up in the near future. There, the sun's back out. I can tell you guys, this getting out here walking feels really good. I haven't been doing a lot of big walks because I've been doing so much other stuff. Well, I took this opportunity to take a big walk because it's been so dry here this month. Those last couple of weeks especially. I haven't had to cut my grass in 2 weeks. I'm hoping that the rain we got this morning will spark a little bit of growth, because there are some weeds that are getting taller, and it'd be nice to be able to even the lawn back out again. But it's been so hot and dry, I don't want to stress the grass out by cutting it any more than I have to. So I want to wait and make sure that we got enough moisture in the ground to kind of reactivate the grass before I start cutting on it. Because the last thing I want to do is kill off my lawn. It's in bad enough shape as it is. So I never have. Like I said, if you want to, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Just don't get trapped by the numbers, because that can really get you messed up. If you start chasing ketones or chasing weight loss on the scale every day, or whatever it is you're chasing. But I think I've rambled on enough for now. I got to go up this big hill towards my street and then on down to my street. This is going to end up being, if I remember right, this is about the 1.75 mile loop that I've walked here. So it's still not a super big day. I'll probably go out and try and walk some more. But for a run out in this heat, this has been a pretty good walk. I'll have some final thoughts when I get back up to the house. Well, here I am, back again, almost back to the house. Hopefully you can't tell that I'm sweating as bad as I am. But that's okay. I like to just keep everything as open and honest as I can here on the channel. So yeah, don't forget the basics. Eat the meat and the fat. Add the salt. Drink the water. That'll get you to where 90% of the place, 90% of where you want to go. That'll get you there. Everything else until then is just noise. Ignore the fact that I've done some keto chow. Ignore the fact that I've tried a couple of other little things, because the start of your journey is very different from the middle of your journey to the end of your journey, and everybody's journey is going to be different. That's why I try not to be dogmatic on this channel. I try not to say this is the only thing you can do, because something a little bit different for everyone works a little bit different. Some people are going to be higher fat, some people are going to be lower fat. Some people are actually going to do better with a little bit of edge. Some people are going to do a lot worse. And we won't know until we try these things. But until you get to that final 10%, I still just recommend eat the meat, the fat, add the salt, drink the water. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this little walking video. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you in the next one. Oh, before I go, don't forget to tune in to tomorrow's live stream. Starts at 2:15 Central. We're going to talk about what we're doing in July for our July challenge. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.